we're back. As I mentioned earlier, we are taping this, of course, on Wednesday, January 20th. Just a few hours ago, we were all watching television, glued to our TVs all across the country, and I'm sure around the world, as the 46th President of the United States was sworn in, along with a brand new Vice President. And there was a good Oklahoma connection there. Truly was. Garth Brooks was there, and somebody said a few hours ago that he probably caught some flack because he wore jeans, and I'm saying, hey, the guy's an entertainer, and that's what he works in. Give him a break, for goodness sake. But the other Oklahoma connection came when J-Lo sang "This Land Is Your Land," Woody Guthrie. And by the way, sometime go by the Woody Guthrie Center. You can have your favorite song printed on old paper, old looking paper. It's suitable for framing. It's a great, great gift idea. Okay, our guest on this segment is Dee Harris. Now, Dee is joining us. She's here, ready to go. We're going to be talking about the Family and Children's Services. She's the Chief Communications Officer there. Dee, good to have you with us, hon.
It's great to be here today. Thank you.
Good, good. Let's talk a little bit about what you are. I could get into some details and I'd probably ruin it, but I know for a fact you're over 100 years old. Am I right?
You are correct. This is 1921 was the year we were founded. So we are hitting that milestone this year as a safety net of our community in Tulsa.
60 programs under your umbrella?
Yeah, you said what are we? It's almost like what aren't we? Family and Children's Services consumes 60 different programs serving birth all the way to death, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So we serve all ages.
It's an amazing number to me. We had on the first part of the show, Karen Kiley, who's with the Community Action Project, who I think is under your umbrella. And I'm always amazed, and I share this with anybody who will listen because it's a problem that sometimes just seems to be getting worse, and that's the hunger factor for children in this area. It's almost to the point of devastation, isn't it?
It is devastating. And CAP, or Community Action Project, they are a partner of Family and Children's Services. We work together to help solve some of those really difficult problems, hunger being one, neglect another, and the COVID situation has really elevated all of those situations. And so what's beautiful about not only our organization, but our partners is we do work in tandem so much to, like I said, to help solve those problems and to provide to those in need.
How are you able to take off your hat at the end of the day and go home and function knowing what's going on in the community and how much help is needed?
I think that's a really good question. Our frontline workers have a very different role than I do. I obviously am more about sharing the successes, the issues, the problems, bringing out all those things to the attention of those that can help, and also sharing the stories so that people can realize, what the need is. It's really our frontline workers that I would like to ask that question to, because they're the ones that are every day in and day out in the crisis care center helping those that are having an immediate crisis. They're in our COPES team going out into the community and helping with first responders to individuals that, might be suicidal or having a psychosis. So I think that's really a difficult thing. The individuals that I work with that are the frontline workers are such compassionate, caring individuals. This is their calling. This is what they want to do. And I'm just honored to work side by side, because I don't know that I could do the work they do, but they do it so beautifully.
I've been in broadcasting for well over 50 years, which makes me kind of a dinosaur in a lot of respects. At the end of each day now, and I've been doing this since we went into the pandemic, I take my wife, we get in the car, and we drive. Because of what I have been involved in as far as a career all my life, I'm used to being out at night. I see things out there that absolutely break your heart. Uh, it's cold, it's rainy, and somebody's sleeping under a tree, or somebody's, or under a bench somewhere. Sometimes there are children involved. And I know you can't be a Batman to all of the Robins in the world, but at the same time, you have to know, and it must weigh on you and your frontline workers, the monumental task they're facing.
You know, what's so crazy? We help 1 in 6 Tulsans. And when I first started working at the agency, my mind was actually blown by that fact alone. That's around 180,000 individuals a year. And, you speak about the people that are on the street sleeping. We have a homeless outreach team. And one of the things that we really work hard at is accessibility. We try to be where those individuals are, whether it's the library, the bus station. We are located in the Salvation Army because help is available in Tulsa. We have a very compassionate community who want to help. And, sometimes you just don't know what to do, especially in a situation like that. But, supporting organizations like Family and Children's Services, so many like John 3:16. I mean, I could mention a gazillion of them that we all work together, like I said, to help solve those problems. But it does weigh on you. I'm a native Oklahoman. This is my home. And you always want what's best for the citizens of your community. And it's hard. But if you can give back in any way at all, whether it's donating to the food bank or, providing blankets to our crisis care center or, making just a monetary donation, that helps our citizens that are the most vulnerable. And we do have them in our community.
Is the service part of the Kaiser Foundation?
So the Kaiser Foundation is also a partner and a donor. They help fund our Women in Recovery program, along with many other programs in which we work. The Kaiser Foundation is on the front lines of really trying to solve some systemic problems within our community, whether it's a criminal justice reform or even the BEST program that's really trying to help early childhood education. So once again, they're on the partner side of helping fund so much of the work that we do. Did that answer your question?
It does. Sometimes at night, I will loop by St. John Hospital or St. Francis, and I'm struck by the ambulances lined up, bringing folk in who are quite ill with the COVID virus. I spoke just the other day with my brother who lives in Arkansas, lives in Fort Smith, and I was telling him about it, and he said, Sam, you're describing Fort Smith right now. And it hit me, that's what's going on everywhere. The hospitals are, getting slammed, and yet there are folks out there that want to make the mask issue political when it's not. And it'd be so simple if we could cut through the red tape and everybody get the shot today. Dream on, as they say, but when you see it firsthand, and I'm not seeing, of course, inside the hospitals, I'm only seeing when they bring them in. And less than half a block away, there are homeless people. Mm-hmm. I mean, it overpowers me to see that part. I can't even begin to imagine what you all see on a regular basis.
We see a lot. I mean, we're very concerned about the children right now in the community, especially with COVID. Child abuse is not being reported. We partnered with other agencies to start what's called Lookout Reach Out. You can actually find our site now, lookoutreachout.net. It's like Parent Child Center, Child Abuse Network, us, and CAP. And we are trying to raise awareness about some of these issues. Children are very much affected by not only COVID, but the emotional and mental toll that it's taking on parents. And, we talk about the homeless situation. Like I said, we have 60 programs. So, it ranges anywhere from a child abuse protection program to a school-based counselors. We have, we are the suicide hotline for the state of Oklahoma. So we see a lot of that, and it does
With
take its toll. But we also want to show compassion to everybody, whether
with
you
uh,
have no money or
with
lots of.
with 60 organizations under your umbrella,
Mhm.
you have a full plate. But when the pandemic hit and we were virtually forced into a lockdown for all practical purposes, you guys had to make some quick changes, did you not? A thing called the flip?
I actually call it the flip. We literally changed our business model overnight. In 5 days, we had gone from, I would say, 95% in person to 95% virtual. We did not stop services. We have a very aggressive IT department. We have a very visionary CEO that made sure that that infrastructure was in place, and we were able to flip the model and provide virtual care. We did continue to provide in-person care for our medication services. We did delivery, and we did a lot of, you talk about children that are hungry. We did a lot of food delivery. We had donors that were very generous in providing things for families that we went and delivered. But we totally flipped the model. We had it in our strategic plan that we would do that in 5 years, and we did it in 5 days.
Dee,
But we haven't
I've
stopped
got about
service.
30 seconds and I need to ask you very quickly,
Yeah.
do you need any volunteers?
We do need a few volunteers. We have trouble placing them because of HIPAA and PHI, protected health information, but we do need volunteers and support in other areas. Yes.
We're out of time. Dee, thank you so very much for
Thank you
taking
so
time. I'd
much.
like to be able to reach out and talk with you again down the road. Is that okay?
Absolutely. I had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Folks, we're out of time and we'll see you next time. Be safe.